Hey loves, hope you're all doing fine. So today is yet another beautiful day and I'll be taking you guys through the process of applying for a Schengen visa successfully. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be taking you through today, and I hope you guys get to learn some things. And also, just to let someone out there know that you don't have necessarily to use an agent to apply for your visa. Yeah, so let's get straight into it. Document number one you need is your passport, a valid passport. At least it should be valid at least for 3 months or even more, which is still fine. The second thing you need is a fully application form filled. That is what you'll also submit together with your documentation at the embassy. The third thing you need is a photo. The photo specifications is 45 mm by 35 mm. 2 recent photos, so you need to submit 2 of them. The thing you need is photocopy of your biometric page. The biometric page is this page here that has all your details. I'm just gonna cover some of my details so that you guys don't, this page, you need to print this page. The fourth thing you need is you need a photocopy of also the pages that your previous visas. So if you've got previous visas, whether it's Schengen, whether it's US or UK visas, or those stamps on your passport since you've traveled out of the country, photocopy those pages and attach to your application. They also need a copy of your identity card, so make sure you attach a copy of your identity card as well. Another thing they need is for travel, medical, health insurance. That's what they need, and the minimum that has to be in that insurance is 30,000 euros. So make sure whichever agent or whichever insurance company you're using, make sure you tell them that the minimum has to be 30,000 euros for your application. Yeah, so for the travel insurance, what you need to do is just call an agent or whichever. For me, I use Jubilee Insurance. I have someone who helps me a lot with that. Very reliable. Hotel reservation. For the hotel reservation, all you need to do is just go on booking.com, find a cheap hotel, do a reservation, book it, but make sure you check for the pay in property option. Don't just go for any hotel that would ask you to pay in advance. Make sure you check on that. Send your confirmation. The confirmation they send on your email, print that out, attach to your application. A letter from your employer. Yeah. So if you're employed, you need a letter stating that you've been given that time off from work, blah, blah, blah. And like for me, I'm self-employed. All I needed to do was to write a cover letter. The cover letter I put on my company's letterhead, and I stated that I was traveling, and I just introduced myself. Basically, the purpose of the cover letter is to introduce myself to the consular so that they get to know me, So that was the main purpose of my cover letter. And also explaining what I do, what's the nature of my business, and all that stuff. And then I did a second letter whereby it was breaking down my itinerary, like what I will be doing within that time period that I'll be out of the country, like in this foreign country traveling. So I put every single date I had something I was doing, and that is just a breakdown of my itinerary. Yeah. Another thing that if you're self-employed, you need to produce, you need to give out your license. For me, I had a business license from the city council, so I just photocopied that and gave out and added that onto my application. I also gave out my business registration certificate from the government, of course. So yeah, that is also I put together. And then I also attached my title deed. If you have any property, if you have a car, you can give out your logbook. Copy, guys, a copy. Yeah, so if you're married, You need to produce a marriage certificate. If you're not, you just need to produce your birth certificate. Copies. All these are copies, guys. And then I'm just trying to remember what other documents I actually gave out. Yeah, you need bank statements, guys. You need bank statements for 3 months. It depends on what the embassy needs. Some embassies ask for 6 months, some embassies ask for 3 months. So if you ask for 3 month statements, you need to print and get them certified at your branch, at the bank. And please, guys, avoid going to buy statements, because these days the embassies are very strict and they're able to detect or know if your documentation is not real or genuine. So even when you take your documents to the embassy, they actually ask you to fill a form, a consent form, whereby you're stating that all the documents that you've given are genuine. So be very careful, because such things may hinder you from getting future visas. One little mess can mess the entire thing up, so don't do that. I'm trying to remember what else I actually submitted. And then you need to print your checklist. You need to print that. And then you also need to print your there's this email they send you when you have actually booked an appointment with them, the date of appointment, when you're going to submit your documentation. You need to print that form as well, because it's needed before you enter the, embassy, the VFS Global. Yeah. And then once you have all your documentation together, you wait for your appointment date. I'll show you how to arrange your documents. And then head to VFS Global, which is along Wayaki Way on Parkfield Towers, 5th floor, if I'm not wrong. Go there, submit your documents, and they'll take your biometrics. Yeah. And then, you wait. For me, my process was quite easy. Have used agents before and I never got my visa, I feel like it was a very good thing to do it myself. Like I said earlier, I did a lot of research, and then I just started compiling my documentations and everything. So I got my passport back after 2 days, which was a quite fast process. They usually say between 15 to 20 working days, but for me I got it within 2 days. So I was so glad to get it back. The rest of the questions I'm going to tackle on my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.